let's talk about music, culture, and art in Colombia. For the Ministry of Culture, it represents a strategic field to formulate policies that allow people to grow up in culture and traditions within or inside the country. Um, there are different levels of education, cultural education, and also this is granted by the General Law of Culture. Those measures are worked together with the National Minister of Education. There are at least four approaches that Minister of Culture and Education has in order to promote the cultural, art and music education for the citizens. The first one is specialized education for artists. The second one is training for trainers. That is a project called art education. The third one is practices related with arts. Those can be dancing, music, and theater. And the last one is art as a support or as a tool to therapeutic process to people. Well, talking about my personal experience, when I was in primary school, I learned to play flute, and I remember I had some presentations for my parents, for my teachers, for parents as well, in my high school, and those were about the playing songs that are representative culture of Colombian citizens. And also, well, when I advanced in my educational process, I had the opportunity to choose between two instruments. Those were guitar and keyboard, but actually I chose guitar. I remember it was in ninth grade, so we spent 1 year, middle year, playing the instrument that I chose, and another half time of the high school, we learned about dancing, cultural dances. So I think it's a complete process in order to create a cultural image for Colombia citizens. Actually, there are another proposals or projects that some high schools has, like bands in which you can or you have the possibility to get in if you really want to get a process, or if you want to improve your level. So there is a complete process, and also there are people who have the opportunity to make some presentations when schools has a cultural day. So that's all.
Let's talk about music and arts in the primary school system in the Netherlands. It's actually quite weird to talk about it because every school can pick for themselves how they incorporate music and arts in their school. There are some guidelines that are like, you have to be at this level when you're at first grade, and when you finish primary school, you have to be at least at this level of being with arts. You have to be able to do this. Some schools use teachers that are specifically for some kind of subjects. Like you have a music teacher sometimes, and sometimes you even have an arts teacher or a gymnastics teacher, but let's not talk about the gymnastics part this time. When you start primary school, the first 2 years you'll have a lot of music and a lot of arts. This is mostly because we incorporate it in the learning. The music is mostly singing songs that help you get a routine in the day. And the arts is mostly for understanding what you just learned in a lesson. The higher you get, the less you'll have of both, but most schools incorporate some kind of creative afternoon or a whole day where you have to be creative, being with arts, theater, music, sometimes even dancing, all that kind of stuff. And that's like mostly how we use it to do it in the Netherlands. But as I said, every school can actually fill in their own program.
Op een grote paddenstoel, rood met witte stippen, zat kabouter Spillebeen heen en weer te wippen. Brak zij toen de paddenstoel met een diepe zucht. Allebei de beentjes, hoepla in de lucht.